Aha, the moon! Yes, we want to travel to the moon. What are we going to do on the moon? I don't know.
We're looking for cheese. Specifically, moldy cheese.
First off,
Go on.
Scrooge. That is so unscientific. I am ashamed that this is associated with Don Rosa, the man who came up with a form of plastic years before it was actually developed. He had the chemical formula for, I forget what it was, but it was some advanced form of plastic in a Donald Duck strip.
Oh.
Years before it actually became a practicality.
Well,
I will have to look this up.
They didn't want to draw Scrooge or anyone with a spacesuit, so they're chewing oxy-chew gum.
Of course. It's taffy. It's not even gum, it's taffy.
So,
Which is even worse, because, I mean, who doesn't want to swallow taffy? Also, this is poor writing, because everyone who's read the comics knows who Fenton is. But
anyone who's just playing the game is like, who is this guy?
Yes, who is Fenton?
I found out that he hangs on to Gizmoduck's suit for him.
Right.
I'm sorry. That was bad.
Yes, we all know. We all know it's terrible. But, I mean, you can't have a comic or a series about a superhero without people who are willingly
oblivious.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite bits that I've seen in a long time was somebody drew a picture of Lois Lane checking her Facebook, and she posted a picture of her being rescued by Superman, and Facebook is like, do you want to tag Clark Kent in this photo?
Yeah, well, eventually Lois knows.
Well, yeah. I think the current version of Superman, they're just married.
Yeah. You know, you have an invincibility, and you completely waste it by not...
That thing doesn't last more than 5 seconds. I don't care about it when I get it. It lasts for nothing. And they're not, available in places where it matters. So I generally just whatever.
So, in general, it's kind of a... Would you consider that a useless power-up, then?
Oh, completely.
Because there's absolutely no reason for it. There's no...
Like, a good example is back in the Amazon level, where I get it, and then I go down to the dangerous underground part of that level, and that guy just died, and so did I.
Where you go to the dangerous underground.
Right.
Where you try to do it on the moon, but then you realize, oh wait, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, in the Amazon, you get an invincibility power-up, and you can't even use it to traverse the entirety of that extremely difficult platforming section underground. Like, it doesn't even last that long. And it's like, well, what was the point then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So...
Yeah, so in this particular game instance, I will I believe and agree with the invincibility power being completely pointless. It's just like, I don't even get excited when I see it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. So, that's an element of poor game design. If you have a power-up that doesn't excite people, what's the point?
It's not even a power-up at that point. It's just a slight...
It's a music change.
For like 5 seconds. Like, if it lasted, like, even just a little bit longer... Oh, look, whoever buried the cheese here left a nice signpost for us to find it.
Yeah, but you're on a 2D plane, so you can't actually see it. Unless you are...
Unless they marked the front of it, too.
No, they only mark the sides.
Well, we can't see the front, though.
Well, the relative sides.
Alright. I'll give you that one.
So, because the sides, for this purpose, are the ones that are facing the user.
Right.
This is... I'm having flashbacks to how much this place pissed me off.
Really?
Just in terms of redundancy, repetitiveness.
Oh
and
yeah, this like you can feel the game design. Like you can tell this was like near the end of the project.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good. The spikes are just
they're just spikes.
Yeah, they don't look like they would serve any sort of purpose, which I can understand that being a thing, but that right there.
Yeah. Like, why does it have a chain going down if you're not able to climb back up it?
Yeah. It's intentionally obtuse game design. There's a difference when it's, thematic to the level.
Yeah.
Where, like in Transylvania, it made some sense why it would be like that. But an alien spaceship where you would assume that something with the technology level and
it happens twice to me, and I got real mad when that happened.
Yeah.
I was like,
You would assume that something with a technology level like that, chains don't really make much sense from a design level.
Like, if it was, like, if they had a spaceship, like, theoretically, like, they're like, oh, look, a spaceship, oh, it's attacking us, we'll fire back, and they damage the spaceship, but they get damaged too, and, like, their Gizmoduck suit, like, they have a tracking thing on it, and they're like, oh, the alien ship that got wrecked picked it up. We have to break into their broken ship, and then you have hanging wires from the ceiling.
Yeah. But I think the only thing that could have pissed me off more is when you were climbing up the rope a couple of screens ago and to the force field, if that force field had damaged you.
Oh, that would have been...
That would have been just too fucking much.
Look, it's that guy.
Fenton Quackshell.
No, jeez.
Fenton, get down from there and stop embarrassing yourself.
Because apparently he's on par with rats.
Lab rats.
I think those aliens
Yep.
wanted to suck out my brain and make an army of Fenton clones.
Bah, they'd soon learn that one of you is one too many.
Ha.
Help me find a
Man, so scathing. But the delivery in this game still gets me every time. It's
I know.
Mr. McDuck.
Oh.
Dang it, Fenton.
Damage report. Artificial
So,
gravity system
here's something else that's completely pointless.
You broke the gravity
Yes.
controls.
The gravity controls, it's one room.
I got a level
Yeah.
certificate of technology from
And it also doesn't work like gravity.
Oh, no, you
Yeah,
don't.
it turns, it's liquid, it's water, it's
Yeah.
swimming.
Which is nowhere else in this game.
Yeah. If this is a warning to all game developers. If you're going to make a section where you have something like this, either make it
gravity system
a much bigger set piece and not a push 1, 2, 3,
Like, if this was, like, the whole level,
Not so fast, Dunder.
or there were repeating instances of it with little mazes that had much better controls than, say, the
oh, you know
the-
what would have been
the-
real cool? Like, let's say this level starts off stupidly easy, and there's nothing wrong with it, and you just get to where the cheese is, and you find out, oh, the cheese is gone. It was stolen by aliens. We have to pirate raid an alien spacecraft.
yeah.
That would have,
Or-
like, and then, like, you could have had more of those anti-grav sections. You could have had more
Only 2 more parts to
anything,
we
really.
can break into
But
the
I don't know why we're overanalyzing this particular game.
Because it made us angry. And by us, I mean especially me.
Well,
This game hurt me.
Like I said, I'm having flashbacks to why this level pissed me off.
This level didn't, like, in terms of I see what you're talking about aesthetically, from that point of view, why it would make you angry. But
Well,
for
aesthetically it pisses me off. Thematically it pisses me off because why would you have, guys just running up and punching when you've
Like,
got aliens.
You can do aliens and you have ducks in mech suits.
Yeah.
And
Which
it seems kind of lazy to me.
It's lazy, it's inconsistent, because you've got the cute fuzzy octopus things, and then
And you've got the weird
goes
pink
to
blob
the
things, and then you've got the ducks.
yeah the Robo Ducks that aren't Gizmo Duck, and apparently a confused Eli
No,
right here.
I know them. I've learned their dumb hiding spaces.
Yes.
And occasionally I look for ones that... Like, that. Like
Yeah.
some of the treasure, like, spots in this game is stupid.
Yeah. Just a hair. Further confused Eli?
Yeah, a little. Like, there were 2 bits I had to get, and I'm like, okay, wait, where am I going?
Yeah. But
Wait.
another sign of...
Like, this spaceship's
I
not really built
realize
like a
this is just-
spaceship.
I realize this is just a remake of a game that was already completed. It's not sold for a full $60, but at the same time, there's just so much they could have done with it that would have been comparatively simple.
Yeah. They could have made this level... They could have redone this whole level, and nobody would have been upset.
Or at least improved on what was there. Because the anti-grav section was not there, so they added that.
But
For what reason, I don't know.
So that was added in, is what you're saying.
Yes.
See, I never played the original, because I didn't have the system.
Well,
for
the
it.
NES wouldn't have been able to handle that.
Right.
None of the cutscenes were in. None of the...
It was just a ball-bustingly...
Yeah, it was a ball-bustingly hard game. The on-rail sections I don't recall being there. I could be completely wrong about those, but I do not believe that any of the minecart sections were in.
I'd believe that. I mean, they're not bad, don't get me wrong.
No. They're relatively well handled, but they cause far too many problems. So they added a whole bunch of stuff, but they couldn't fix some of the most glaring problems.
Like, they picked now. They picked now to give an explanation as to why he can carry these jumbo items without them showing.
Yeah.
They picked now.
Yeah. It's
not even a great explanation. Like,
Yeah.
if your buddy can rig up a hammer space for you, why do you keep all of your money in a giant vault? Why not just have
because
all
he
of
likes
your...
to swim in it. But
I don't know, man. It's just
I
like
mean,
it's a decent platformer, but it just does things that make me upset.
It's all the little things that add up to make it an aggravating game. Because it goes for challenge in weird ways. It goes for just the weirdest things. And it's like this right here. What's the point?
I don't know. To make you sweat for it.
Yeah. That's like an introductory level puzzle right there. That's I'm going to show you the mechanics puzzle.
Yeah.
Because, if they had put it in your way, it would have been a great anti-piece. It would have been phenomenal as an anti-piece.
Yeah.
If it was something in... Now, granted, you can do these levels in any order you want.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Normally
You normally go
the...
down the line.
Right. Which, assuming the first time someone plays a game, that's what they would do. It's terrible design because the first level is the hardest one.
Like,
Especially when you don't have any health bonuses.
the only one that came Yeah, the health bonus is part of the reason why that's the hardest, but...
And then Mrs. Beakley. Why are you here? Why are you here, lady?
Why are you here, Mrs. B?
Because zero gravity is the last place for
It's
bad
not zero gravity. Oh my
No. Hold on. Bad dining habits. She complains about bad dining
And
habits.
she gives
and
him
then
a
throws
full
out,
cake, ice cream, and a stuffed animal.
Mrs. Beakley, you are the reason America is fat.
No, she's trying to kill him for his money. She was in on it the whole time. She's after. She's after that. She's after that. Mr. McDuck's big bucks. That was bad, and I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's something that I could easily see being thrown into this game at some point, and they missed the opportunity to... Because there's a certain point where you can embrace being bad, and then just slap yourself all the way around to being so bad it's good. But the game is reveling in mediocrity, is what it is. It's not reveling in the terrible nature of everything.
Yeah.
It's just shoving itself so deeply into its mediocrity that it's not bad, but it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not... It doesn't maintain the interest, and yet somehow it did. I think most of that was just because it was DuckTales.
DuckTales.
And it's got the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
going for it.
people like to do the woohoo noise.
Yep. Because it's a fun song.
It is a fun song, and the TV show was actually pretty damn good.
But this is also a poor design choice. You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level.
Yeah, I've got to give Gizmo Duck his suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, is it over here? Yes, it is.
Which
Ow.
that's the one good point about those shortcuts.
Like, I think that was
But-
the point of them, but if you don't find them, like if you're not the explorative type and just go straight for the stuff.
Right. Let's see. So, when I was working on this VR project that I'm on,
I'm sorry.
one of the biggest problems was signage.
Yeah.
Because they tell you to go someplace, but there's not really any signage telling you where that place is. And while there's more ship to explore, it can get a little confusing.
Yeah.
Right now, it's about a 30-minute experience. It took me 45 minutes to get through it because I just couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go.
Okay.
And I eventually, from a QA standpoint, I had to ask the proctor, where am I going? I have to figure out how to get there.
Right.
I am not someone who gets lost easily, but it was so incredibly easy to get lost in there.
That sounds like something I would get lost in for days.
Yeah. Which, there were signage problems, and there were some direction problems, too.
So wait, is
So.
it like... So his like code word to operate his suit is blathering blatherskite?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyone who happens to say it near the Gizmo Duck stuff also gets it.
I take it that happens... How does that happen, though? Who says blathering blatherskite?
Scottish people?
Okay.
I don't know who designed it, who made that, but...
So this is actually
then-
a fun little section.
Yeah.
Because he
It
just
makes-
follows you.
It makes a little sense here. It makes a little sense to have him. And you just...
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Just, yep.
So what's actually kind of funny is he actually waits for you at the spot where you died.
They can have that. They can have... Oh, Scrooge has to escort Gizmo Duck for some reason. Because he can't go left and right.
Well, he doesn't know where the door is.
But Oh my god, this is...
It's bad. I know.
It's just more... Like I said, it's... The puddle of mediocrity just keeps growing bigger and bigger until it's just this disgusting pool of, like, mildly warm
It's
soap.
no, it's a puddle of the green cheese of longevity.
Well, no, because that would imply that it's unpleasant, but warm soap is just like, ew. But it's soap, so it's clean, so it's not really all that bad. You might slip and fall a little bit, but it's not...
It's like a lukewarm pizza.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is all right.
It's not hot pizza, it's not cold pizza, it's lukewarm.
Yeah. Yes. And
Do you have
Also,
Oxy
how
Chew?
did- yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Do you have a
Does he have-
spaceship?
How did you find it?
how- just
Wouldn't you like to?
uh,
Well, thanks for saving me the trouble of blasting.
Diablos Ex Machina, the devil from the machine.
Mr. McDuck, halt, evildoer!
No, Gizmo Duck. I need you to help me deal with the Beagle Boys.
No, you don't.
You
Scrooge.
really
The Beagle
do.
Boys are
Chump
Beagle
change.
Boys are complete and utter chumps.
They're chump change.
Also,
Past me. What are you doing? There we go. Oh.
congratulations.
You
You failed yourself.
I'll edit that out, or I'll keep it in for the fact that we both noticed that.
Just do a zoom on it.
Yeah, I'll do a zoom.
Showing off the wonderfully mediocre idle animations.
Yeah, well, I think if you leave him alone long enough, yeah, I figured. If you leave him alone long enough, he actually does do different things, but... See, I didn't die, like, I didn't game over in this level a lot, so I kept looking for the treasure.
Yeah. Which...
Like, you can tell how long I've been in a level, but depending on how much I give a crap.
Yeah. Well, this is a note for future playthroughs.
Yeah.
You need to minimize the amount of sidetracking unless it is important. Hey, it's another useless power-up.
Yep.
Because even going all the way through, you would have been hit by that last Beagle Boy.
Well, yeah, but that's because I was bum rushing it.
Exactly. Which, I mean, that's the intent of most things like that, but it's just, again, it's that
It's not long
compounding
enough.
mediocrity. They just, it saddens me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But
I love Way Forward, and I get they didn't want to change too much about the old game, but they still, like, they didn't go far enough with their own, like, quality of life increases.
yeah, which quality of life is a real big thing of a lot of these games. Because if there's an understandable reason for a lot of stuff to not happen,
Yeah.
then sure, fine, whatever.
It's just sitting there, by the way.
Yeah.
I made it here.
Just sitting there, and then
No, not the cheese. Anything but that.
Yeah, don't try to stop him or anything, Scrooge.
I'm wondering how one rat could eat all that before he grows. Like, he took a nibble and then grew, sure.
He absorbed it into his own ether.
Yeah. But just wasting time. More
Yeah, well, I
more
can't
time.
physically hit him while he's putzing about.
I know. It's just that's what these boss fights are. They're time wasters.
Yeah.
Because
when he gets his ether goo on, you can't hit him.
yeah. And then he does this.
Like, I'll just sit here for, like, I'll just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. That's. And again, that's part of the original design of the game. I can understand that, I suppose. But just the fact that there's no build up to do any of it. It's just the same pattern over and over again. Easily dodgeable pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you're down here, if you're just going through it normally, you know, you've got enough
HP to deal with it.
Yeah. Enough life to screw around.
Now, if there was like a 3-heart run version of this game, that could be a bit difficult.
Yeah. Which there is. And that's called a self-imposed challenge. But...
Ah, yes. I've heard of those.
But with self-imposed challenges, there's usually... It's usually in a game that's fun, but is easy to break open. This, also, the cheese is fully intact.
And now it looks less like the background.
Yeah.
It's spinning.
Oh, yeah.
How would that... You just saw that this green cheese is not an anti-aging thing. How are you going to make money off of this?
Because it's a rat that ate it, not a duck. It has a different effect on a duck.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can... Oh, man.
Cartoon logic. Oh.
Alright. That's it
But
for this
speaking of
episode,
cartoon
everybody.
logic...
Next time...
I know what comes
We're
next.
going to Mount Vesuvius.
The resignation in your voice amuses me.
I used to be happy.
Goodbye.
Later.